Welcome back to my friendly neighborhood. So, as it turns out, when you beat the game, it locks in your save, and we didn't know that. So, I had to play through the whole game again, otherwise I would have copied my save over or something. But once you know what you're doing, it goes pretty quick. It took like 3, maybe 4 hours. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the cheats that I added, because I tested out a lot of these, and some of them are more interesting than others. Some of them don't especially need to be tampered with. Speedy Gordon, you just walk fast. That's all it is. It's kind of like you have the energy bar all the time. Triple enemies, I did not test.
I wonder what triple enemies does.
I'm willing to bet it's like the multiple Norman. Every time you see an enemy, they split into 3. If I had to guess.
I was just gonna go with, like, it puts more enemies in that area.
Tiny Gordon, it just lowers your camera down to real close to the ground and makes it genuinely hard to play.
I was curious if it was gonna be one of those things where it, like, makes your hitbox so small that's so hard for the puppets to hit you.
I don't know. I didn't get far enough before I found it's really hard for me to click on things on countertops.
Yeah.
Fast weapons, I think this just means you reload fast. I don't know if it also means you, like, swing or fire quickly or not. Long arms, I think, means you can interact with things from a greater distance, and there are some times you can actually break the game doing that. Jointless ragdolls is kind of funny, especially when you combine them with Mega Wrench. Mega Wrench, just, you one-shot everything you hit with the wrench, and it sends them flying. If you combine that with jointless ragdolls, then they, like, get their arms stuck in stuff and stretched out, and it's funky.
I was gonna say, didn't we already do that?
Mega Wrench does not actually make the game just run up and wrench everything. Because oftentimes, a lot of the enemies, especially the faster ones, can outreach you. So it's still kind of ended up as a wrench is good if you can sneak up on a guy. Otherwise, be careful. Speedy enemies are faster. Chipmunk voices, this is literally just they pitched up all of the enemies. Not enemies, every voice is just pitched up. Bullet mode change, this changes after you fire your bullets. Instead of hitting and, like, turning into the letters that are laying on the ground, they are the giant crayons that were in the final Elmo's World Zone.
The giant crayons?
Yeah.
Were there giant crayons? I didn't see any.
It was in a couple places up there.
Well, I'm not doubting
but
you.
They're just laying around as part of the environment. They weren't, like, things.
Oh, okay. I thought, kind of like... That was the weird... Those inflatable crayon things, I remember those. Those were like a thing, but I don't think they do those anymore.
Yeah.
I think that was just when we were kids.
Yeah, just for the sake of playing through the game again, I did turn on Mega Wrench and fast weapons. You can also turn on and off cheats whenever. So, save your game, exit to menu, turn off a cheat. I mean, you'd have to save, because you can't do it from in-game. But I played through mostly with Mega Wrench and fast weapons, and especially with Mega Wrench, I have way too many supplies now because I could just wrench everything.
Why didn't you play on a harder difficulty, then?
I was thinking about it. Oh, I should have looked at that. That said how long I'd played. Anyway, because of that, I actually have a very full inventory. So, I'm gonna go empty my inventory.
And just to piss off everyone, we're gonna do the pacifist run at the boss at the end. Why don't you just shoot him? No.
Okay, cleaned up my inventory some. I have an absurd amount of shotgun ammo, so I'm just gonna shotgun literally everything that we find on the way.
Have you ever had... You said some weird, and my first thought was like, have you ever had dim sum?
Probably?
There's so many foods that I keep... You know what the one that I keep hearing that I should have that I don't think I've ever had? Pierogi.
I'm pretty sure I've had pierogi. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dog food. And we're going to go solve the dog problem. Because these dogs are in more places than just the couple places, one outside and one over in the garden.
Actually, yeah, I think once they become active and you deal with stuff in the garden, they actually can appear elsewhere in the buildings.
Yeah,
it's just that we got lucky.
They're kind of all around. Oh, also I cleared out... I even cleared out the offices, so we don't have any rogue collectibles laying around anymore, except for the mass that's in here.
Because you already have so much stuff.
Yeah, it's because it's all ammunition and supplies, and I have so much, and that's our chief storage place anyway. So first things first, we're solving the dog problem, which means we're going to the public park. Okay.
Listen, the dogs are tough. They can get shotgunned and then get back up immediately. A lot of people wish they could say that about themselves.
So I know I have to put the dog food down.
Bell.
Oh. Food time!
That's actually how you figure out that they're hungry, is that if you ring the bell, they come immediately, and then they just get sad because there's no food. And Gordon, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon.
He actually gets really upset about the whole thing. He's like, it's the most upset he's ever been since Ricky called him out. They actually all have names, too. They're on the dog houses.
You guys are nice doggos, but you're just a little eldritch, too.
Yeah. Naka.
I don't see a name anywhere.
No, oh, sorry. The dog food bowls.
Oh. Scraps. Flooper. Mahoney.
Yeah, Naka. You could say they're nice little puppets. Not my pun.
Okay, so that has solved the dog problem, which was our overarching issue there. Now, we still have other things to do before we go up and actually finish the game. The one thing that I'm going to look at is this puzzle. The little globe.
The globe.
Which we have actually seen the solution to.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I'm still kind of mind-boggled that we actually had it.
Yeah, the solution, it's where we got the shotgun, which I think was in the sewers. In the, was it the west basement? Yes, it was in that room in the west basement. So, to the basement we go.
I wonder if you go back in there and there's a Norman in there. Oh, son of a... Oh, and it's the Mystic Maze reference. Yeah, okay.
So I'm guessing this is our pattern down here.
So... let's just go Devil Horns, you, because
Yeah.
Naka.
Well, I go... What do we got? You, Naka, Monk, Speaker, Boots.
I was just going to say Monk for the middle one, too. I was like, that is literally just the 3 claw marks of the Monk soul crystal right there.
Yeah, so does this say anything else?
Oh, what's... Labyrinth, that's what I'm thinking of. That's the movie it's parodying. I think it's just twist to the thing and then hit it. There's no, like...
Yeah, that'd be my guess. I'm not seeing much else.
Because it just shows that it's twisting one direction, so it's not like you have to go, like, you dot to the left, Naka to the right, Monk to the left. What were you calling that other one? Speaker to the right.
Boots.
And then... looks like an upside-down T. You know what it looks like? It looks like that... when you're just kind of getting into, like, drawing cartoon characters, and you kind of do have them wear those, like, cowboy boots, but they're just, like, they have their legs like that.
Yeah.
So they have the boot tips coming up like that.
Okay, so, you, Naka, Monk, Speaker, Boots.
Yep.
You, Naka, Monk, Speaker, Boots. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, that's what I was... Like, yeah, he just takes the boat out and then crashes it, and then you can just never use the boats again.
Okay.
So you.
You.
Boop.
Naka.
Naka. Monk. Speaker.
Boots.
Boots. Boots with the fur. Oh, it's the other mask. God, that's a freaky-ass mask.
Okay, Norman had a bad day?
I think so.
Junebug. I don't think she saw the...
Lily Ann saw the mouse. And then George got cut off in traffic or something. I didn't hear anything, but...
Yeah. Alright, so this is what I was afraid of. The pattern here is not the same as before, or as the other one, which you'd think it would just be the same pattern, but you put the new mask on Leonard, who's the one you didn't have before. But it's not the same. I do not know where the solution to this puzzle is. Okay, so the solution near the whiteboard.
Behind the left side curtain.
Ah. There we go. Look at that.
Wait, was the room not finished beforehand?
The room was finished. I'm surprised it was marked as finished before picking that note up.
Well, I guess it's because it's a secret, so it doesn't really matter.
I will say, at this point, solving this puzzle is going into, like, big secret territory. This is not intended for normal gameplay completion. Okay, that was in the office. That was this. So, angry, scared...
Mild shock.
Angry, scared, shocked. I don't know how many of these I can actually fit in my inventory. Angry? So you're big scared.
Scared. So I just switch those two, I guess.
Yeah, which one do I have on me?
You have sad.
I don't remember which one that is.
I think it's more supposed to be disgust.
Yeah.
Well, that's scared.
They saw a mouse, so it's more like a ee.
No. That one's scared. That one looks like it's supposed to be like disgust because you can see the tongue. It goes like, ugh.
I see this as like true horror scream.
Oh.
Like lack of the eyes. Like this is.
Like they heard static before the tape recorder started and went like, uh-oh, I know what that means.
I didn't hear anything, so we may need to swap these.
Yeah, I think those two are swapped.
George is happy now. It unlocked. And it unlocks this door.
Room 122.
Which is off map. I don't know if you would call this directly a dev room. But it kind of is.
So, I can explain this real quick because I have the answer right here.
I'm going to make it say Norman.
So, There are actual 6 possible number sequences that appear on this display, and they all correspond to different trailers and development videos for the game. They're just dates, so that's October.
Yeah, 10/31,
31st.
6/12, 10/12, 10/12. So it looks to me like, and if I can explain this very briefly, because I did look into this. So I think if you press the button, all that does is cycle the numbers on top.
Yeah.
Which are the dates. These dates are the dates that promotional videos were released for the game.
Trailers and all that stuff. Trailers, development videos, blah, blah, blah.
These down here, you can rotate to make this, to put different codes down here. I think you said there are 6 different things.
There are 6, yes.
Which would then attribute to 6 different numbers down here. When you pull this, I'm guessing that's just checking if it's correct or not. Now, at this point, I don't know how much I want to say about the solution beyond this point, because I think the developer even said that if you figure it out, he doesn't want you to tell.
Are you talking about the music?
Just everything. Music's part of it, too. Go ahead and explain vaguely the music, because I don't actually remember that.
The music's
like
Morse code.
Yeah, it's Morse code, isn't it?
Yes. It actually spells out something, and I'm going to show you the answer if we're going to be vague about this, because it is funny what the answer is.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw that, and I was like, he has to know.
Okay. So what happens... So the puzzle, then, is what happens if you presumably get 1 letter per video, put in the correct code, and pull the lever. Something that I should be clear about to start is the developer hates the kind of generic mascot horror. And I think Five Nights at Freddy's kind of begun this whole mess of mascot horror that kind of became what he hates. I don't know his opinion on Five Nights specifically. But the idea that there's, like, almost ARG levels of, like, searching and figuring out to uncover the tiniest little bits of lore of what one thing or another, he hates that. Like, all just to get a vague answer that's not even going to mean anything in the grand scheme anyway. That maybe you can put together with something that, like, oh, but then the next game that comes out, you'll get an answer that may tie into something like... He just hates it. So, this whole room, after, like, everything you've had to go through so far, between finding the puzzle to open the thing, to get the mask, then to find the thing, to open the door, to come in here, to get another puzzle with dates to the videos to get letters from, to figure that out, and then there's the Morse code that's going on. Like, he gives you all of this. So, once you get the correct codes and pull the lever, it gives you a QR code. That QR code is an invite to a Discord server. That Discord server has literally nothing in it. That's it. The end. You're just in a Discord server with other people who have also spent the time to solve this problem. And in that same vein, the Morse code that's playing actually spells out, I'll go ahead and say it, because this isn't like that big a puzzle.
Oh, do you want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
If you decode it, like, this background noise is making... background music or whatever is making noise. What is it? Oh, it's Morse code. Let's figure out what it says.
It says Lamau even LOL. It's literally just a mockery room.
Yeah. This whole room is mocking that whole mess.
Yeah. I'm literally just sitting here goes like, should I say it? I want to say the joke of like, is that the bite of 87?
So that's that whole mess. That's everything that goes through there. So the other puzzles we have here, we have this door, which we cannot go in, but we know that this door opens from the other side after the finale.
After the finale?
Yeah, like this is the room we exited out of when we were finally leaving.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's this door. Which leaves this one. I do not actually know what is in this door. However, it was only the very most recent update that revealed what is behind this door.
Oh, God. Can I say it?
Well...
No. This is my joke.
Okay.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
I don't actually know what's in this door, but you do... It's the neighbor horde mode.
Oh, that whole thing.
I forget, because that was updated just in the most recent update, which was released while we were making videos on this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have to, like, beat an aspect of that or something, but there's something with neighbor horde mode that opens this door so that you can go in. I forget what's in here, or maybe I never learned in the first place what was in it. But this door is tied to neighbor horde mode. I'm not going to be showing it off because I'm not going to be playing through neighbor horde mode. But that is that mess. So this is... Why is that room still red? Yeah, it's still red. I don't know. Not important. There's nothing else in here, really. Maybe I either forgot a token laying somewhere, or...
Was it on that table just back there?
Not on any of these. I glanced while I was walking over. Yeah, but who knows? Not important. There's nothing else in here. So that means, what puzzles do we have left otherwise? Because I think that may be it. Yeah, that's it. Which means the only remaining thing to do is get all the secret tapes. Of which we are missing, like, 3 or 4 of them?
You know what killed me the most when you said secret tapes last time? Was I was trying to think, like, what was the Homestar Runner bit? Oh, it was cool tapes. Cool tapes was the thing. Secret Tapes would make a good band name, though.
Yeah. Okay, another puzzle that I wanted to point out is this. Which is here purely to mess with the player. Because you cannot get in here. There is no way to remove this tape and actually open this. You can no-clip your way in, because one of the cheat tapes, not one of the ones we have, gives you access to no-clip. You can no-clip and look in there, and there's just a rubber duck in there.
The most foulest of all horror game creatures.
Okay, last thing I wanted to point out was in here. The mouse room. Remember this note on the wall?
Yeah.
As far as everyone can tell, this either means nothing, or we have no idea what this means.
Well, if the duck's in the thing, doesn't that just refer to the rubber ducky in the locker?
Who knows? Like, what does the symbol up top mean? Who knows?
Oh.
The community has not been able to figure out what this means, if it means anything.
I think what it means is that he's going to have a hard time clearing the lines in this Tetris game, because those are not the normal shapes.
Yeah, we're going to have a real hard time with that one. Okay, so for the remaining cheat tapes, I've actually found it difficult to find a record of where they all heckin' are. But from what I've found, I think the only ones we're missing there are 2 in the finale. So I'm going to collect these, and that's where we're going to call it. I remember reading somewhere that some cheat tapes are only available in different difficulties, or maybe you unlock a cheat for beating the game on the different difficulties.
I think you do, yes.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then we're not going to get those. But I will make sure that we got the ones in the finale, and of course we're going for the good ending this
I
time.
will say, I think actually, it's like right around here. Yeah, right
There it is.
I will say, I think actually getting the bad ending does count for harder difficulties. That really bad ending where you first
Oh,
leave.
you just get in the car?
Yeah, you just get in the car. So if you like slap on a bunch of cheats and then go for like veteran or the harder difficulties, it does count for that.
Which is weird because that one didn't lock my save.
Well, I think it's because you got the bad ending, so I don't think it was pretty much going to be like, oh yeah, this is just broken forever now. You can't come back and do the game because you weren't done with the game.
Hmm. So mostly, like, I don't have to save the animals.
I mean, if you're a heartless bastard.
If you don't save the animals, you haven't officially begun the game.
PS5's on sale.
Alright, so note about the unfriendly neighbors. Maybe you can... I don't think you can kill all of them. I think you can maybe take out that first Norman or something, but... it's intended that you just kind of can't.
But if like the first 26 shots were our alphabet and everything else afterwards was at different language alphabets.
Oh yeah, it goes down a lot faster after you hit the button.
Rehearsal, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know why you wouldn't do it on the sound stage, but
There it is. So to my knowledge, those are the only two we missed. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Instead, it felt like he was getting, like, weirdly religious right at the end, almost.
I don't think Jim Henson was ever really like that. That's what kind of makes it weird.
Oh, and there's also the one thing that's been... I've seen a little bit of theory crafting in this, about this game, about, like, why are these things alive? And nobody questions it. And I think the short answer for that is this is similar to, like, the Muppets world.
Oh yeah, this is like how, like, very little times on Sesame Street or the Muppets they ever break the fourth wall. It's like, they're alive, don't ever question it. If you're on stage with Big Bird, Big Bird's alive. There is no actor in that suit. We do not talk about that.
Or, like, the Muppets.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole big adventures and everything they go on, nobody thinks about it. There's just, yeah, there's... That's just a frog.
Yeah, it's just Kermit the
That's just
Frog.
Kermit.
And his on-again, off-again girlfriend who hits way too hard.
I was wondering if you'd help run our studio.
What?
See, everything's really old and falling apart. Really beyond our ability to care for. And on the personal side, I think it's obvious that we need a bit
Like,
of
there
a
are
guiding
some
hand.
secrets and whatnot hidden through this game, some you actually have to work for. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day,
At the end of the game.
at the end of the day, the overall theme is, look, don't think about it that hard.
I think you can handle it. It can't be that hard. Besides, look at how much you've helped us just since you got here. I talked to the other puppets. Reviews are dazzling.
Also, the kind of joke with Gordon is
I
that
don't think we're the ones you should be worried
if
about.
you ever
Gordon.
heard that thing about Mr. Roger, how he was supposed to be a
Won't you
war vet
be
and everything,
our
which is
neighbor?
not true. He was
Oh.
never a war vet. But that's kind of the joke, is that he's the Mr. Roger to the neighborhood thing because he used to be a war vet, and it turns out he's actually really good helping people with their problems and everything.
So, as opposed to last time, yes.
We'll give it a shot.
It's funny, too. You read up so much on Mr. Rogers, and he was just a modern-day saint. It's so weird.
Have such fun.
I'm not living here, though.
Well, we'll talk about that. Oh, Gordon, thank you. Thank you for being our friend. I am bursting at the seams. I must go tell the others at once. Tomorrow night, then?
No.
It's decided. Tomorrow night. See you later, Gordon. Arrivederci. Toodaloo. 23 skidoo. Ciao.
Well, Brian, what have you done this time?
Some people would call it an upgrade.
I helped the neighbors get a slot on public access TV. It was late night on weekdays. I don't think anyone watched it. With Within a couple of weeks, though, word was starting to get out. Some people loved the show, some people hated it. That caught the network's attention, and by the end of the year, we had 3 channels wanting to sign for a whole season. Of course, after my boss found out I was involved, I got fired. But somehow, I feel a little hopeful about it. It's hard to describe. It's like you've been lost in a tunnel, until suddenly a voice calls your name. And you turn around, and you see the rising sun. And it's so bright, maybe it hurts a little to look at. But you don't care, because it's leading you home.
Hey!
And now we really truly beat the game,
For realsies.
which means you're not going to skip the credits.
Nope. Yeah, this has been genuinely a good time, though. Like, I've been looking forward to playing this. And I think some of that is... I'm not big on the more traditional...
That's the reason I played this game. Wanted to play this game. Because that's Brandon Blabber, who is also known as Jello Apocalypse on the internet. So, you've seen any of his stuff, he did the voice directing for this, and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Very good job. He also did a playthrough on his own channel. Nothing. Anyway, you're...
Yeah. I'm not typically a big fan of more traditional horror stuff like, oh, big scary monster chasing you kind of games. But I think what I do like is more... I mean, I like the more eldritch side of horror, but I'm trying to wrap my head around, like just the unsettling nature.
I was going to say, you
games.
can't do that. You can't wrap your head around eldritch horrors.
the
That's why
point.
they're eldritch horrors.
When did I die?
I was going to say. I mean, you never showed on. You didn't die during any of this.
Yeah, I mean, this was a replay. When did I die? I think I was just, like, not paying attention to my health and just trying to club my way through enemies.
You might have. You had that mega wrench on. You were
Yeah.
You were full of power, and the power blew up on your face.
Yeah, and I think that was the point when I went, maybe I should actually be a little careful with this. But yeah, I like the more unsettling aspect of horror instead of just, like, scary monsters and jump scares.
Booga booga, blood gore,
Yeah.
pouring from mouth, that kind of stuff.
And this game wasn't actually a horror game at all. But it was a real fun adventure game. With some shmup aspects to it, but mostly it's just been a fun little adventure game. Run around, solve problems, explore, and that's my jam. That's what I want to do. I want to run around, solve problems, and explore.
I was kind of pleasantly surprised because I asked you after one recording session how you felt about the game, and you even said beforehand that you were really enjoying it, and I was like, well, I mean, I was going to ask you at some point how you were feeling about this game, and then you were just like, yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's one of the games that when we record, I will actively be looking forward to it. Especially like over the weekend leading up to the day when we record.
I mean, the fact you actually went out of your way to run through the game again.
Yeah, like, there are some games we play, and it's not that I'm not looking forward to it, but it's just like, okay, recording day, time to get back into it. But every now and then we get a game that I'm like, man, I hope can we hurry up and get to recording day? I want to play more of that.
We would have been done with this beforehand, but I got that head cold, and I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your fun, but I was just dead to the world that week.
That's all right. But anyway, like, again, this has been great fun. I feel like I'm a hoarder. I play defensively. I play carefully. So, in turn, I had... By the end of normal mode, I, of course, had, like, a ton of supplies, more than I needed
the
to.
game also encouraged you to do that, because it never went out of its way to basically go, like, you have to shoot everyone or everything. It was like, no, it was like, be smart, to conserve your ammunition when you can and tape up certain puppets so you don't have to deal with them again. And you were on that.
I did that.
Yeah.
I think as well, limited inventory space means inventory management. And if you don't have to juggle what you're going to carry, then there's no inventory management. If you've used all your supplies, then you're not inventory managing. But regardless, I think for what I want to play, this was good fun. Because I don't necessarily play these games for that level of challenge, but now that I've played through the game once and I know what's going on and I know how to interact with everything, I feel like if I played again, I would probably play on a harder difficulty. Now that I know what's going on.
Yeah.
For my retroactively, would I have played a harder difficulty as my first playthrough? No. I think for the first playthrough, I did exactly what I wanted to do. But, again, in the future, if I go back and go, I kind of want to play that again.
Well, what's the point of being the home run king when you can't hold a baseball bat appropriately?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't feel like any of the... I feel like the map was super useful in letting you know what you needed, where you needed to go. I didn't have to, like, scour, run around back and forth 100,000 times figuring out what I was supposed to do or where anything was. Super useful map. I think the weapons were all actually pretty satisfying to use, though it had some of that, like, bullcrap Doom RNG. Which, I say bullcrap Doom RNG because the damage you do in Doom is, like, a base multiplied by a D8. So you're gonna shoot a guy, and yeah, you could do 3 damage, or you could do, like, 20-something damage.
I think it was either that, or they may have had, like, I don't know the finer details, I think, because it seemed like sometimes when you snuck up on them successfully with a wrench, they went down faster with the wrench in comparison to just being shot face first. But also, if you shot them from behind, they also seemed to load up with lower HP. So there might be some kind of mechanic of, like,
maybe
you sneak up on them.
If there was, I never quite wrapped my head around it.
Yeah, but that's getting into the technicals of it all.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, the puzzles themselves, I feel like, were hard enough that you had to think about it. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, this is that. But, like, they weren't so obscure that I would sit there going like, well, I have no idea how to handle this one.
Especially because quite a few of them are actually like, you have to solve the puzzle, but you also have to have room in your inventory to deal with items to solve the puzzle.
Yeah, which is part of the inventory management. And the file folder was amazing that they had that, and you could grab your clue that told you how to do the thing and take it with you to the other side of the map. Instead of just having to, like, write it down or bring out your own notepad, which I feel like making the player bring out their own notepad is a little archaic design at this point.
Not necessarily bad, but yeah, it's definitely one of those, like, if we're going to keep track of everything in-game, we can keep track of, like the character picked up this thing.
Yeah, like, I found the clue. Don't make me write it down. Let me just take it with me. You're just cutting out the middleman of annoyance. But yeah, overall, genuinely fun game. Time was 4:30. I probably spent 3 hours getting back to where we were before, and that was probably about an hour and a half of us bumming around, looking for secrets and doing everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe just 30 minutes. I don't know. It was 3 to 4 hours to play through the game again, which is, again, once you know what to do, a relatively short playthrough.
Yeah, no, this has definitely got that Resident Evil, like, you did this playthrough, now do it again faster and on a harder difficulty kind of playthrough for, like, something extra.
Yeah, but, like, our first playthrough was probably double that.
Yeah, I think it was, like, 8 hours.
Yeah. But anyway, though, great fun, amazing game, loved every second of it, almost. I'm sure I was annoyed at some point. But for the most part, loved every second of it.
My final verdict on this, Lamau, even, lol. Oh yeah, what do you get for...
Oh yeah, what cheat codes do I have? Big heads!
Oh, DK mode.
And slow-mo.
Oh, that's gonna be weird. Yeah, you got a couple. I'm pretty sure they're difficulty-based.
Yeah, so we're missing 3. 2 of them would be difficulty. Maybe all 3 of them would, because I think once you beat hard mode, it unlocks another difficulty beyond that.
Yeah, there's like hard mode, then there's like veteran mode.
Yeah. So those remaining 3 may be all difficulty based. There's also I don't know what all of them are. I know one of them is no clip. So like within game, you just get no clip and you can go around and do whatever. And people have found some interesting things with no clip. Like that's how people have found that in that one locker that's duct tape closed, there's just a duck in there.
It's duct tape closed.
If you go out of bounds, there's a couple little secrets somewhere, like up in Elmo's world, there's a little rat in a cardboard race car. Just kind of up there somewhere, out of bounds.
It's a rat on a cat.
Anyway, this has been my friendly neighborhood. Until next time, everyone. We fixed it!